Okay, so old media is gearing up to discredit Jamal Charlo. As you guys know, nobody is more harsher on the Charlos than me, partly due to the fact at one point in time I was a huge Charlo fan. I just think that these guys should have been superstars, and at this point, to me, they could still be superstars. There you have two twin brothers, you know what I'm saying, both have polarizing characteristics about themselves. They're both brash, they're both unforgiving, you know what I'm saying, they're both good for the camera. These guys should have been superstars. I don't see why that's hard to sell. I could have sold that like popsicles in summertime, you know, but then again, that's just me. But when it comes to the Charlos, as you can see, Jamal Charlo is finna take on Sergey Devianchenko. Okay, now everybody knows this is a good fight. This is a fight that we've been waiting on one of the Charlos to step up and take. Although I've been completely satisfied with Jamal when it came to his Tony Harrison fight. I even started to like him again after that. I got a little respect for him because Tony Harrison, that was a good fighter and he beat a good fighter, so he has one under his belt. So it's only right that his brother get one up under his belt too. Okay, now as you can tell from what I'm showing you right here, old media is gearing up to discredit this. Now, we criticize these guys, and once they step up, we're setting them up for failure. As you can see, they're already thinking that Devianchenko is not going to beat a Jamal Charlo due to the fact that he was in wars before Gennady Golovkin, you know, and they're saying it's a little bit asking him too much to go from fighting Golovkin to go in fighting Jamal Charlo. In case you didn't know, that is the setup. That is the setup to discredit these guys. Now, once again, we want these guys to step up. We want these guys to fight the best. It's only right when these guys do step up that we don't stifle them and step on them, because this is the thing that keeps these kind of fighters in place, because they don't believe they'll get their credit any damn way. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter who I fight. They'll still discredit me. They still won't say I'm good. They still say I'm a bum. So why not go and get my money off on other things? Like I said, I slowly start to understand the formula as I come to realize that crediting certain fighters in this game is just hard to come by, and people just don't want to do it. Now, the reason why I am the perfect person to speak on this, because nobody has judged these guys more harshly than me. So at the same time, it's only right that I come to the aid once they do step up and once they do show us something that we want to see. Okay, and as you can tell, they're setting it up to make it look like, well, you know, Devianchenko, this guy has already fought Gennady Golovkin, so therefore him going in here fighting a Jamal Charlo is a little bit too much to ask, you know what I'm saying? And they also set it up, does he have a possibility to win? Yes, but see, this is the problem with old media, and this is why people got to come in and we got to rectify this whole thing, because this is what we're asking of these guys. When they step up and do it, we need to encourage them, not try to beat them down and not try to discredit them before the fight even happens. But I noticed that this is happening a lot. My antennas is up and I'm keen to this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I now found my new mission when it comes to this YouTube shit, you know, because I see it all the way across the board. Even to the fact some of these guys even respond to the videos that I make. I done have several people, just like you see in these articles today, they have direct responses to my video. You don't need to ask me how I know. Trust me, I know. A person knows, okay? So when it comes to this, they're already questioning, well, what is this fight? This fight shouldn't be on pay-per-view, blah, blah, blah. I'll say this, if the fight crashes and it falls flat on its face due to they want to make that a pay-per-view, let them fall flat on their face. I don't think we should try to worry about what money people have. You know what I'm saying? Because this is one thing I know. People always have money for what they want. Okay? People always have money for what they want. There's never a shortage. There's never anything once a person wants something. They always make a way for it. You know this if you ever had a marketing job and you was trained in marketing. You know what I'm saying? Your job is to sift out that money and show these people, as much as they tell you, oh, I don't have money for this and I don't have money for that, is to break down their budget, break down their recreation, break down what they spend on a daily and a monthly basis, and show them how you can cut out the money to buy this product that I'm trying to sell you. People always have money for what they want, and that's how it is at the end of the day. But I will say this, once these guys step up, it's not cool to try to knock them down and try to take credit from them. They're finally doing what we want. Yes, is it taking longer than what we wanted to? Yes, but we finally have arrived, and this is a good fight for him. We will finally see. There's no guarantee that he'll beat this guy. You know what I'm saying? There's no guarantee that he'll beat him. But one thing is this, I am interested. And even though, you know, I've had problems with them in the past, I would easily pay for this fight because, once again, I'll spend my money on what I want. I have money for the things that I want. Okay. And that's just like everybody. I also noticed that they're trying to do the same thing with a Gervonta Tank Davis. Okay. Now, Gervonta Tank Davis, once again, is one of those fighters that I was never really a fan of, but I could always recognize that he's a very talented fighter. Now, I understand that Gervonta Davis gets a lot of heat because he has inherited Mayweather's hate, you know, so I get that. But when I look at this kid, I see high potential in him. Now, could he be even better than what he is? Yes, but that has to go with discipline and everything. And these fighters just ain't disciplined like the fighters of yesteryear. You know what I'm saying? That's just a fact. There's only few rare and in between that actually train like that actually lives a fighter's life. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it is. But once again, Gervonta Tank Davis against Leo Santa Cruz. This is another good matchup, whether people want to like it or not. People also question this is on pay-per-view. Well, the reason why they can sell these things for pay-per-view, and that's the only thing good about whatever Tim Brown or whatever they're doing over there, who's doing the matchmaking for PBC, is they know that over at PBC, they're well aware that you want to see these guys lose, okay? So they all know this. So they're not worried about if the fight will do this, if the fight will do that. You guys will tune in just to see these guys get beat, okay? And that's just the truth of the matter. But once again, this is another good matchup that they're trying to tear down before the fight even happens, okay? These guys are finally stepping up and giving us what we want. Yes, it is late, but hell, they are doing it. You know what I'm saying? So you have to encourage this kind of action instead of tearing it down. If not, you will pull these guys back into a shell and be like, see, I told you. You might as well go ahead and keep fighting these milk cartons and stuff like that and keep getting paid well, because you're going to take these tough fights and the credit doesn't come with it. You know what I'm saying? You can get paid just as well fighting these old anybody's, just like Leo Santa Cruz has been doing this entire time, you know what I'm saying, and getting credit for it. But when it comes to them, they won't get credit for it, okay? So that'll make a person like me say, you know what, I understand, because you know what, your credit is not going to come to it. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to give it to you. So you might as well go ahead and get as much money as you can while taking the less risk as possible. I can't knock that, and I can't fight that now that I see the climate of boxing. When I'm truly observing the climate of boxing, and when I'm talking to these people and I'm making videos about these people, it's a clear bias in boxing. It's so ingrained, it's so deep, like we can't even ignore it anymore. You know what I'm saying? This is so in your face. People are so anti you know what, that, you know, there's no way to go with the sport. So at this point, a person like me who once denounced this, who once hated this, who once say, I want these guys to fight the best, it takes somebody like me to now step back and say, you know what, they're allowing everybody else to do this and they're giving them credit for it. But when it comes to these specific fighters over here, they're not going to give them their credit for it. Now, why am I the perfect person to speak about this? Because you know what kind of tree you got by the fruit it bears. I always tell you that. But when it comes to this unbiased boxing talk, outside of the UGC, there is nobody else doing this like I'm doing it, period. Flat out, hands down, undisputed. But in the meantime, that is just my opinion on things with a little bit of facts, okay? Bruce Vane, I'm out.